What's up, guys? My name is Aaron, and today I'm going to be reviewing Wonder Woman. This is a DCEU superhero movie directed by Patty Jenkins, and it stars Gal Gadot, Chris Pine, and a bunch of other people. It's basically the origin story of Wonder Woman, like her time as a child, kind of learning her powers and stuff, and kind of growing up as an adult and going through World War I and stuff, and just trying to showcase like her traits and stuff like that while kind of navigating through this World War I period. I was looking forward to this movie. I do like superhero movies, but the DC movies haven't been that great. Upon watching Suicide Squad again after the first time, I think I was a little bit excited, so it's not really that great of a movie to me. Batman vs Superman is still like a solid movie, but it's not something I would go out to watch again. But I was kind of intrigued by Wonder Woman in the Batman vs Superman movies. I felt like Gal Gadot was good in the role. She didn't have a lot to do, but I was kind of interested to see how she would kind of play in the future movies and stuff. And I was looking forward to seeing her do this, because I think when I first heard her casting, I was like, she looks way too like pretty, and she has too much of like model looks to kind of pull this off. But I do think this is probably the best like movie that has come out of the DC universe. Probably isn't like gonna be in my like top 10 movies of the year, definitely not, but I do think that this is a good movie. I think it's a good sign of the future for DC movies. The best thing about the movie is definitely Gal Gadot to me. She to me like nails the whole essence of the character. I just love like all the different facets of her character, like how it's kind of like a fish out of the water story, where whenever she goes out to London and stuff, she's just so innocent and stuff. She doesn't really know like anything, but she's not really stupid. She just doesn't really know like how to act and stuff like that. And I think that they really rode that line really well, like make sure she didn't seem too stupid. I really liked that. I also liked just how like just how hopeful she was. Like she was just trying to do like the good thing, and she was just trying to like be positive and stuff, and I do love that aspect of her. Like she doesn't seem dumb or anything like that. She seems like she's just trying to do the right thing, and it's a really good refresher after like Batman and Superman and the previous movies. It's really cool to see a character like this that's so positive and stuff after all that darkness in the other movies. But I think the thing that I was most surprised was just like badass she was. Like she really came across as really tough. Like she seemed really capable in the action scenes and stuff, and she has a really nice physicality about her that makes her seem like she can stand on her own against anybody. I think that Gal Gadot really surprised me in this movie, especially with the physical comedy too. Like it's like kind of not fair that she looks that great, but then she has this comedic side too. It really reminds me of like Ryan Gosling or Zac Efron. Like it just doesn't seem fair. But I think all of those combined, I think that she's probably like the top casting for like a superhero since like Robert Downey Jr. She's definitely in like the top 5. And I think she's definitely by far the best casting in the DC movies, including Superman and Batman. I think she's fantastic and definitely the best part of this movie. I also like the cinematography and the look of the movie. It kind of combines the visual style of Zack Snyder, really like stylized and stuff, but it has like a more colorful palette, especially the stuff, her homeland and stuff like that. It would seem really like colorful, a lot of different colors, and it just seemed bright. Like I think you could actually see the sun in this movie. It just had like a really like unique vibe. And then when it went to the World War I stuff, like in London and stuff, I thought that was really cool too. I think it's cool to go away from World War II, because they do that in every single movie nowadays. And I think that doing the World War I things was kind of cool, kind of seeing the costumes and all the action and the battles and stuff like that. I thought that was a really cool touch. And I think that Patty Jenkins is a really like good director, like just visually and stuff like that. All of that stuff was really handled really well. I think that Wonder Woman's relationship with Steve Trevor, who's played by Chris Pine, I thought that was fantastic. Like it was like insane chemistry together. Like you really believe that these two were like, it wasn't like a couple, I guess, but there was like a lot of like flirting and stuff in the movie, and that came across really well. I think that Steve Trevor's lines were a little bit cringeworthy at times, because it was trying a little bit too hard for me at the comedy. But I think that Chris Pine and Gal Gadot really have great chemistry together, and it really serves to be like the emotional core of the movie. And I was like kind of surprised at how invested I was in something like that, because usually in these movies I don't really care, but they were really good together. And even like the romantic stuff that they kind of throw in there didn't feel out of place. But I also think that because it was a female director, Patty Jenkins, directing it, it kind of felt a little bit more authentic because, I don't know, I think that women directors kind of have like a better grasp of like the romantics and stuff in movies. So I think that having her kind of helped too. Where I'm like kind of in the middle, I don't really like, I mean, I guess they did the origin story, I guess, to the best of its abilities, but it's again just another origin story. It kind of just goes by the numbers, like this is what happens and then this is what happens. It's a little bit overlong for the type of story that this is to me. I think they could probably cut it down by maybe 20 minutes and it wouldn't feel as overstuffed to me. I also don't think the villains were created all that well to me. They just felt like
woody woody woo, do da 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 da.
It felt like the writers were just like throwing stuff on the paper and just like giving us whatever they kind of half created and stuff. It didn't feel like that organic or anything like that. It didn't feel that fleshed out. I also think the humor, again, everything with Wonder Woman, like her reacting to stuff was really funny, and I was surprised at how well that was done. But the Steve Trevor stuff felt like DC was kind of overly course correcting their like humorlessness of the previous movies and stuff. It felt like it was a little bit too much at times, and I think Chris Pine's a fine comedic actor, and he does sell that stuff to the best of his abilities, but it just felt like a little bit too much to me. And also the CGI battle at the end was just bad. Like, it just really felt tonally off from the things that happened in the first 2/3 of the movie. It just really didn't do anything for me at all. I was just wanting it to end at that point. But overall, I do think this is a good movie. Gal Gadot is probably the best part of the movie. She really embodies the spirit and the essence of Wonder Woman to me. The cinematography and the look of the movie is really well done. It's visually stunning at times, combining the styles of the Zack Snyder movies with a more colorful palette. I also think that the emotional core of the movie is really well done too. With Wonder Woman and Steve Trevor, I think that they have insane chemistry together, and it really provides like the emotional core of the movie. Again, I don't think the villains were all that well constructed. I think the humor was a little bit forced at times, and I do think that the CGI battle at the end was kind of over the top and just didn't really fit with me with the way that the movie was beginning, because it was kind of a little bit more lighthearted and stuff like that. I would probably normally give this a 6 out of 10, but I do think that Gal Gadot's like performance kind of lifted up a little bit more for me, so I'm gonna give this a 7 out of 10. If you're like all in on this superhero stuff, I would definitely not even question like watching this. Go ahead and watch. But if you're more on the fence and you just want to see like a strong female character in these type of movies, I would definitely give this a watch, because Gal Gadot was by far really great and really surprised me. I really have to eat my words about her casting and stuff. So yeah, those are my thoughts. What did you guys think? Did you like the movie? Did you hate the movie? Let me know in the comments what you thought, and thanks for watching. Thanks, guys.